Welcome to today's episode of What I'm Watching. This is a reoccurring series here on my channel where I share recent streaming selections that I have been watching. Depending on how the chips fall, they could all be on one streaming service, they could be across different streaming services. For today's episode, they are going to be across different services, so let's go ahead and jump right in. First is going to be the series The Rookie. This one can be seen on regular TV, I believe it is ABC, but I have been watching it through Hulu. One of the things I really enjoy about this series is the balance. This show follows the lives of rookie cops. With these type of shows, sometimes the stories will focus more on the private life with a little bit of the cop aspect, or fully on the cop aspect with just a little bit of their personal background. This show, I feel, balances that pretty well. I feel that you get an equal amount of both. Yes, I will say I am a Tim and Lucy stans. Can't wait to see where they go in the next season. It's been a long time coming. I did not originally watch this show on regular TV, so I was binge watching it, and seeing them go from the first episode to that very last episode, they've come a long way. This is going to be one of those shows where you get invested in each and every character. Sometimes when you have an ensemble cast, things can get a little lost. I'm not really a fan of like the movies where you have an ensemble A-list cast. I'm not a particular fan of those. This show, however, I am invested in each storyline and each character. Now, the season 5 finale, that one was astounding, and I told you that I was binge watching this one, so I had no idea where the show was in current time. So as soon as that season 5 finale finished, I was like, okay, when's season 6? Come to find out, that season 5 finale had just aired like a month before, so I've got a long way to go for season 6. For our second selection, we're gonna hop over to Netflix for this show, XO Kitty. Now, this is going to be a spin-off of the movies To All the Boys I Loved Before You. Watched all of those. I kind of think the first one was my favorite, but again, I liked all the characters. You are introduced to Kitty in those movies. With this show, I really liked that a new culture was introduced to me. In the movies, you kind of had a little bit of it, but not very much. This series is completely immersed in this culture that I'm really not familiar with, so I've really been loving learning about it. If you haven't watched this too much, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I will say I'm not a Day fan. I like Kitty with Minho. This one, I am anticipating season 2. They did leave it on a cliffhanger. It was a good cliffhanger, but it's one that I want to see where they take it. And in season 2, I would like to see Kitty's sisters. I would like to see, what was his name, Peter? I would like for them to incorporate some of the characters from the movies a little bit more in season 2. For our third selection, we're going to stay on Netflix, and it is the series Suits. What was my reasoning for wanting to watch this? Meghan Markle. At that time when all of the media was following her and Prince Harry, all you heard was Suits. But I never watched it. I heard about it, but I couldn't watch it anywhere. So it finally came to Netflix, so of course I jumped on that train and started binge watching it. I will say this series has more familiar faces than I realized. I didn't realize how many people were in this series. This is one of those shows that kind of shows you how the upper crust lives by different rules. Although it's a law firm setting, it's really not one that is going to be courtroom heavy. It kind of shows you a little bit behind the scenes before you ever get to court. And of course there's drama throughout. That's what makes this a good show. Along with the dynamic duo of Mike and Harvey. These two live in the morally gray area of life, but yet they seem to be the good guys. I'm not finished yet. I am on season 7, and I believe there are 8 seasons. So I've kind of got to the point where I'm slowing down a little bit, trying to savor it. I will say on this one that season 4 was not my favorite season. I kind of just wanted to get through that one. But now I feel like I'm on the other side of it and the momentum's picking back up again. In this series, I usually only share with you 3 selections per episode. However, today I have a bonus selection for you. I want to go ahead and tell you about this one because of the way I've filmed these and the way that they are uploaded. There is a gap in time between when I watch these and when I actually get this video posted. So this bonus selection is going to be Through My Window Across the Sea. This one is also on Netflix, and this is the much anticipated sequel to Through My Window. This one, I'm going to say, is kind of your typical sequel where you laid all your groundwork in the first one, and then in the sequel, they undo everything. It's a little annoying, but it happens. If you're gonna watch this one, be ready. There is a huge plot twist that they are just gonna throw at you. Now, the dynamic between your main two characters on this one is a little strange because Aries really treated her like garbage in the first movie multiple times, but honestly, it felt like they were closer in that movie. It felt like they were more in sync with one another. This one, the entire movie, you can just tell there's something missing. I don't really know if they're drifting apart, but there's just something kind of dividing them throughout this whole movie. Now, the ending on this one is going to roll up on you without you even knowing it. I was sitting there watching it in the story, and all of a sudden, writing just shows up. And I'm like, excuse me, what? And yes, it's a cliffhanger. So those are my selections for today's episode. Hopefully these will give you some entertainment. If not, don't worry. I have a full playlist that I will pop up on the screen along with the latest episode. That way you are sure to find something that you will enjoy.